all who come to this happy place, welcome.
What is it about Disney that makes us happy? Is it the magical whistle as your ticket is scanned at the main gate? Is it the seafaring smell of pirate water? Or is it charting a course to a land where you may never grow up? Whether it's singing a familiar song, watching a movie, or riding your favorite attraction for the 100th time, Disney undeniably has a way to warm our hearts, believe in magic, and bring joy into our lives. This is Main Gate Magic, a podcast where we break down and discuss the infectious happiness, delight, and thrill of all things Disney. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Main Gate Magic. We are on episode 4. Today is Tuesday, the 23rd of April. Welcome, everybody. As usual, we have Lisa, my wonderful and lovely wife, joining us. Hi, baby. How you doing?
Hi.
And Mimi, how are you doing today, too?
Excellent. Just excellent.
Excellent. And in case you guys haven't seen yet, we have another special guest with us in the studio today. Everybody give a warm round of applause for the lovely, the talented Miss Mary Gibbs. Hello, Mary. How are you doing?
Good.
Yay. All right. So nice to have you on the show. For those who do not know who Mary is, she, at the age of, what was it, 4? 3?
2.5 is when I was first brought in. Yeah, first brought in. So 2.5 to 5. So you were right for all those.
Yeah, close enough. Yeah. So she played the voice of Boo from Monsters, Inc. Yeah. And if you guys haven't heard of who Boo is, I'm going to give you a little bit of a soundbite again. That's right. That's her right there. Little blast from the past. So yeah, thanks very much for joining. We met a long time ago at I think MouseCon. I think was like the first time that you and I had met.
Bakersfield, right? Is that right?
Probably Bakersfield. Yeah. Okay. No, did you go to the Concord
show? I
show?
went to a couple different places.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite okay.
No, the Comic-Cons blend together, but yeah. I love the MouseCons are like definitely one of my favorites for sure.
Yep. Hi, Patricia. How you doing? Good to see you on the show. Welcome. So we're gonna just do a quick Q&A. I'm hoping that there's going to be a few more people that end up joining the show a little bit later. But I do have some questions, and you're no stranger to those because this isn't the first interview that you and I have done together. I know we did a podcast for the Lowdown at the Down Low once, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah. So similar concept here. So what I'm going to do first, though, is I'm going to go ahead and just give everybody a few fun facts about Monsters, Inc. The movie was released in November of 2001. It was the 4th Pixar movie ever made, and it was directed by Pete Docter and starred, I'm going to go down the list really quick, Billy Crystal, John Goodman, Steve Buscemi, James Coburn, Jennifer Tilly, and I didn't even realize this, but Frank Oz was also a voice in this as well. Yeah. I had no idea until I looked at IMDb today, like Fozzie Bear and Yoda and many other voices.
Yoda, yeah. He was Waternoose, right? I'm pretty sure he was Waternoose.
No, Waternoose was James Coburn. He played the voice of Fungus, and I think Fungus was Randall's kind of like henchman.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Right? Yeah. The one that had the glasses and, he was like running the scare.
That ended up in the Scream thing.
The Scream extractor.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
A few more fun facts. So this movie has also spawned a sequel, Monsters University, as well as a TV series called Monsters at Work, I believe. And also a few Disney park attractions too. So they have the Mike and Sully to the Rescue ride at Disney California Adventure that opened up in January 2006. It replaced the Superstar limo that only lasted for about 5 years. I guess.
Yeah.
It lasted 1 year. Superstar limo lasted 1 year, and then they closed it.
Oh, they closed it and then rebuilt it.
4 years.
That's right. So sorry. Yeah.
What was that from, or what cartoon?
It was an original idea, and it was
A limo
It was
ride?
weird. It was
Interesting.
weird.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you got introduced to like movie stars and stuff like that. You were supposed to be going to some kind of movie premiere or something like that. Is that what it was?
Yes, I went on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Watch
I've never
YouTube
been on it
videos.
before.
Just trust me.
Yeah. Okay. I will.
It's something you have to experience visually.
So that's what Monsters Inc. was before. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I think were the ride vehicles the same, or did they changed the skin a
were.
little?
They were the same. They were just, instead of being taxi cabs, they were pink limousines. Sparkly.
Okay. Sparkly. Now, baby, you never took any sort of
Learn
secret trip to
something new every
Disneyland
day.
and went on it, did you?
No.
No,
Okay.
you never went on Pink Sparkle.
Well, actually, that was still before. Was it before or right at the time that we met? I think because 2001 was when California Adventure opened with that ride there. I
Okay.
think.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
We
Monsters
met
Inc.
in 2002.
2. Okay, so it's not quite. That's what. See, it didn't even have to be a super secret trip. You could have gone still before me, and I would have never known about it. All right. Let's see. So there are a couple other Monsters Inc. attractions at other parks. There is a variation of the same ride at California Adventures called Monsters Inc. Ride and Go Seek at Tokyo Disneyland. This one's a little bit weird though because it's different because people actually get to hold flashlights, I think. And they need to find the monsters with the flashlight, and every time that you shine a light on one of them, they do some kind of specific animation or animatronic thing happens or something like that. I've seen videos.
I've always wanted to go to the one in Japan. I've heard they have a
Yeah.
good Monsters Inc. area.
Yep. And then, of course, there is the Monsters Inc. laugh floor, which I absolutely love, that Mimi and I actually had a chance to go to, and she got called on by one of the monsters.
That was awful. I did some harassing.
Oh my gosh. They took me back. I went there and they took me backstage and showed me how it all worked. It was so cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I love that.
And I think that's about all I got for Monsters Inc. stuff.
Those
Anybody
are
else
some
got
good
any other
facts.
stuff? Huh?
Those are some good facts.
Yeah.
I learned something new.
Yeah, they weren't Josh Schaefer fun facts, but he's a whole nother episode in itself. Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that. That's gonna be.
Yeah.
None of
it'll
us
happen.
will get to talk. We won't get to talk.
Yeah.
It'll be a tough episode. Yeah, Josh, if you're watching this or listening to it eventually, you know what we're talking about, and it's all in love, buddy. Okay, so throughout the episode, I am going to be flashing some trivia questions. I don't think there's 2 people watching right now.
No.
I know. I was really hoping there'd be a few more, but maybe they'll join a little bit later. I'm going to go ahead and start flashing them across the screen. They're going to kind of range in difficulty, so even the ones that are watching, Patricia, if you want to answer, you're more than welcome to, or whoever else is watching.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and put up the first trivia question. We're going to start off super, super easy, which is, what was Boo's name for Sully? Nobody on the show gets to answer. That's the one rule. We have to let the people that are watching. Oh, we had another person join, so we'll see. All right. So while that's flashing across the screen and we're waiting for comments, let's start off with the very, very first question. So we established that you said 2.5, 3 years old when this happened, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me tell everybody about the process. Like, how were you chosen? I mean, there's tons of kids out there in the entire world. Why you?
Well, I can thank my dad. All thanks to my dad, really. He was a storyboard artist for over 30 years. And what did you say? Monsters Inc. was the fourth movie?
Yeah, fourth Pixar movie. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that was a good thing. So he was there in the beginning, and he was one of the storyboard artists on Monsters Inc. And originally they needed a little girl just to draw. And Boo was actually going to be a 12-year-old girl. They were kind of playing with that idea. But my dad brought me in anyway. And again, I was only 2.5. And, I would play around the studio. I was really curious. And I think they realized like that was probably a better angle to go with, like a curious 2.5, 3-year-old who's not going to be scared necessarily. It's going to be more like, just wanting to play. And yeah, so it just started out as that. I was brought in, I would just play around the studio and they would sketch me. And I guess, just as it progressed and as it's further down the line after, it's animated and they're looking for the voice, they're like, let's just bring me into the actual recording studio and see how I do. And apparently I walked in, there's this big crew and all these equipment around me. And apparently I walked in like I owned the place and just like, I don't know. Yeah. And so it is kind of at right place at the right time is like what it comes down to, like right meeting at the right time. I just so happened to like be comfortable in the environment and just know everyone and like, be okay with the microphone following me around for a few years of my life.
Was
so
it a few years? Really? It was a few years?
So it was, I guess, so 2.5 is when I was initially brought in, from my understanding. And then I was 5 in 2001 when the actual movie came out. And so like the bulk of it was 2.5, 3.5 around there. But I know I was even brought in like up until 5 just to get some last minute, like maybe they needed a Mike Wazowski said differently or something. So yeah.
Do you have any memory of one of the last lines that you ever did, or is that just too far back?
I remember, well, as far as just the recording studio in general, I have like just vague memories in general. Like I remember walking in and being really excited about the foam walls, like the sound responsive foam walls. And, like, I was like rolling around on them. I'm like, whoa, what? I've never seen anything like that. And yeah, I kind of, so like vague memories like that. When I was 5, I don't remember being in the recording studio like necessarily like sitting in front of the microphone. But when I was 5, again, that's when it came out, and like that's when Billy Crystal walked me down the red carpet, and I got to like sign autographs for my first time and have that whole experience.
That is so cool.
Like I remember more of that, which is like kind of a cool little memory. But yeah, since like there's like behind the scenes footage, I think my memories, I get confused. I'm like, wait, did I remember that, or am I just watching this on video? I don't know.
Now, most recording artists, when they do voices and stuff, they're doing stuff in a booth, and they're talking in front of a microphone. But you were so little, I heard that they had to kind of chase you around a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah, it was definitely a unique experience for them. They I guess the sound guy took a boom, taped a microphone to it, and initially he's following me around just in his shoes, and he's making too much noise, and so he has to take his shoes off. And so he's like tiptoeing around, following like this 3-year-old around with his socks. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I gotta sit still. They would do that, or they would use a Cookie Monster puppet to talk to me a lot of the time. If they wanted me to say something specific, like Kitty in a certain way, they'd say like Cookie Monster. Pete Docter would have the puppet. Actually, there's footage of him. Cookie Monster would say, "What would you say if you lost your cat?" And I'd say Kitty in a sad way. So they kind of have to get creative in that way.
That's so cute. I never knew that before. That's a neat little fact. I love it.
Yeah.
Now you said that your dad was a storyboard artist. You actually have done a little bit of drawing yourself that is tied to the movie. You want to share what that's all about?
Oh, the Randalls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was 3, Pixar likes to do this. I'm not the only kids' art to be featured in a movie, but I drew the Randall sketch and the Sully sketch that Boo holds up in the movie, and they scanned it in. And also, like when you see kids' drawings on the walls, a lot of the times it's the storyboard artist kids or little like Easter eggs like that. And now, yeah, so I do Comic-Cons, kind of a segue, but where I'll get to travel around and meet other actors and also meet people that like Monsters Inc. and want to come up and talk to me at my booth, and I'll sign autographs and just answer questions. And I had a train of thought that was going on.
Derailed.
I was
Sorry.
sitting on my feet.
Thought
and
denied.
They fell asleep. I'm waiting for them to wake up. I'm just like, oh gosh.
Well, you actually did a drawing of that character this weekend.
The Randall drawing. Yeah, that's where I was going. So
Yeah.
I at Comic-Cons, I sign autographs, and I'll also redraw the Randall sketch for people. A lot of times people will bring their pops, the little pop figures in, or these pictures. Anyway, the last convention I went to, it was with my friend who's an amazing tattoo artist. I'll have to message the name, his Instagram. so I could he could post about it. But either way, yeah, he had the idea of because I had sat next to him at his booth at this last Comic-Con in Vacaville, and he had an idea of have Boo design your tattoo. And I'm like, I didn't think anyone was gonna do it, but yeah, this one girl got the Randall and my signature. I drew it right on her arm, and then Matt is tattooing it, and then he asked me if I wanted to tattoo some of it, and so I actually tattooed 3 of the legs.
Oh no,
Oh,
really?
wow.
It was super fun. It was.
Have you ever done that before?
At a different one other time, I was at a Comic-Con with a tattoo artist as well, and it was a couple. The girl came up or the guy came up to me, wanted me to draw the Randall on him to have his partner tattoo it on him. So I drew the Randall on his ankle, and I was gonna walk over with him to watch her tattoo it. And as I'm walking over with him, he's like, "Well, do you just want to tattoo it on me?" And I was like, I've never even touched a tattoo gun before. And he didn't care. And I tattooed one other time. That was the one other time. So I think we'll see. I'll have a business, but very niche. It's only Randall sketches that look like a 3-year-old did it. And yeah.
I think it's
Perfect.
phenomenal. I saw that
Made
post
my
this
day. It was
weekend.
really
Yeah, I
fun.
saw that post on Instagram this weekend, and I was just like, "Oh my god! I know I've seen you draw that character on a T-shirt before."
Yeah.
And I don't
I
know
should
what
look at
other
my
things you've
friends'
drawn
Instagram.
on it before, but I think a person is probably the craziest one so far,
Oh
right?
my
Would you
gosh,
agree with
it was
that?
yeah, Mr. Tattoos 89. So MR
Okay.
Tattoos 89. My friend Matthew, so good. Really good at Disney tattoos, so it's perfect for this podcast. Anyway,
And if
another show.
anybody wants to see that posting, I'm sure does he have it on his
He
Instagram?
posted it, we collaborated on it. Yeah, it's great.
Why
Guys,
don't you tell people what your Instagram handle is in case they
mine's
want to go see it there?
It's Visual Boo, BISUALBOO.
Because we can see you
So
now.
yeah.
So you mentioned earlier that you got to go to the premiere of Monsters Inc. when it first came out, and you said Billy Crystal was the one that took you down the red carpet?
Really, Chris? Yeah. Apparently, the story is for my mom that I was pretty nervous when we pulled up. There was all these people, and I was 5, and I didn't know what was going on. And Billy Crystal, I guess, this big star that I didn't know at the time. But my mom sees Billy Crystal, gets out of the limo behind us or whatever, and pulls him over to the side and is like, my daughter's 5. She doesn't know what's going on. Just letting she's not used to this. She's not a trained actress, and apparently he came up to me and said boo in his Mike Wazowski voice, and I turned, I was like, Mike Wazowski, and gave me the special moment. He picked me up and walked me down the red carpet, and I remember that moment, kind of meeting him for the first time. And so that was kind of cool of him to take a moment and be like, all right, we're doing this. Yeah, so that's when Billy Crystal walked me down the red carpet, and there's photos, me, John Goodman holding me at points or whatever. That's when I got to meet the whole cast, which is kind of cool.
Is that the first time that you had ever met them? Because I know you were probably in a room somewhere separate from all of the stuff they were doing.
Yeah, we definitely were in a room separate. I know that I met a few of them as we were passing, Ratzenberger. What's his first name?
John Ratzenberger,
John
yeah,
Ratzenberger.
the Yeti.
The Yeti, and I forget who else, but that's someone my mom mentioned because I'm doing a Comic-Con with him recently. So that came up. But anyway, we met because we were switching. I was leaving the recording studio and he was entering it or something like that. So we would meet in the passing. But yeah, we wouldn't record together. As far as I know, that's kind of the first time that we all really got together.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Did you go to any other premieres? Not just for the movie, but for anything else Monsters Inc. related? Any openings for the rides later on? I mean, I know you were probably older, obviously, when that happened.
I remember specifically Monsters on Ice was a big thing that was
Oh.
videoed. I think maybe it was maybe I got flown in New York, or maybe it was just LA. I forget. But I remember that kind of being a big thing. I was in 3rd grade and just freaked out to be on TV. I remember I'm a prepubescent my hair looks like this, but just a bowl cut.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Anyway, you can find those pictures.
Disney
buried on the
presents Monsters on Ice.
I was like, I was so anyway. So that was a thing. I don't think I can't remember if I was there for the ride or anything like special like that.
Okay.
I mean, I know like I've ridden that a lot. I've ridden the ride a bunch. My first time my mom and I rode on it, she was crying the whole time because it was like my little kid voice and all the memories came up.
Oh,
Yeah.
very nostalgic for her.
Very nostalgic, exactly. But
how sweet.
yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna take a pause here because I've had this trivia question flashing on the screen long enough and nobody's answered it yet.
No one wants
So
to
let's
answer.
just go ahead and say the answer all at once. What was Boo's name for Sully? Everybody? 1, 2, 3. Kitty. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I didn't get the memo that we were supposed to do the voice.
Oh well, you know, if you can, why not? I mean, that's what this
think
show's
you
all
did better
about,
than
right?
me did.
That's a very good point. Very good point.
You guys should all be able to do that better than me.
Oh,
All right, so next trivia question before we skip over to the next subject here is, and again, we'll hold the answer until nobody answers again. What city do the monsters live in? This is
I know, I
another
should've
fairly
posted
easy one.
picture.
So if you guys are listening or watching, what city do the monsters live in? Okay, so now we were just talking about rides. I'm assuming you've been to the Disney parks before. Do you still go at all?
So I used to be able to get in for free when my dad was working at Pixar, and when Disney bought Pixar, all of the people that work there got silver passes, and it was so great. Up to 4 people in total for free into the parks, and then 30% off every purchase inside the park. So it made going to Disneyland like, you know, a normal, not like just an affordable thing. And he ended up leaving Pixar at one point, going to DreamWorks, and then ended up at the end working with Peanuts and doing some like Charlie Brown stuff. But either way, when he left Pixar and left the whole Disney Corporation, we lost the silver pass. And so, you know, stopped being able to get in for free. He knew some people, and like I know some people that work at Pixar / Disneyland that get like a certain amount of passes per year. And so a lot of the times I'll ask these people towards the end of the year, like, do you have a couple passes left that you could spare or something like that? But it's very like, I know someone in Disney who works at Disney World that has that silver pass kind of capability. I've only been to Florida. I've only been there once, and I kind of went straight to the laugh floor, but he's the ones that took me in. Anyway, so I hypothetically could get into Disney World for free. But again, it's all about these, I have to like make all these like connections with people who work at Disneyland now. So I can't just go in there.
When your dad left Disney, did he and you said he went to DreamWorks, did he still do the same thing, just storyboarding, or did he do something different?
He was at Pixar, he actually worked his way up. He directed Mater's Tall Tales, which were these Cars shorts. He directed those, and then he was directing Cars 3 for like 3 years. Oh. And they actually do this a lot. They'll just like have a director, and then they'll cut him, and then use their ideas for a different movie, essentially. So the story is like, you know, they cut him and then uses a lot of the ideas that they had for Toy Story 3 or 4 or whatever one was coming out at that time. Mm-hmm. Either way, so he went from directing at Pixar, and then I think he went back to storyboard artist. But I think he's always been a storyboard artist, even when he was directing. That's kind of been his like main thing. So yeah, he went. I forget what he was working on at DreamWorks. It was brief. He mainly wanted to relocate to LA because he was up in Northern California, and
I'm assuming that when you had the passes when he was still working for Disney / Pixar, that you guys lived down south.
We lived up north, actually. So we didn't go. Yeah, we didn't go often, but I would go at least once a year.
Okay,
which was enough. Like I don't know.
Well, I mean that isn't completely. That isn't completely unheard of. I mean,
Only because
my
we
wife.
live, we live far.
Yeah, Lisa and I, we live in the Bay Area, and we've lived here ever since we've been together. But we've had annual passes or magic keys, whichever you want to call them
Ooh,
anymore.
magic key.
That's what they're called nowadays.
Oh, really? Oh, it's
And we still manage to go to the park quite a bit, and
Yeah.
with the exception of the last 2 years. But we are taking a trip in May. This will be the first
I've
time
been
that we've
thinking
been in
about. I
2
want to
years.
go. I want to go.
We
again.
miss it. It's so much fun, and it's going to be a family trip. We've got, what is it, 4 other people joining us, I think.
Oh,
Is that what it
cool.
is? Trip of 6?
That sounds like so
Yeah.
much fun.
That
Let's
just
hope
sounds
so.
I was thinking like I just kind of want to go alone, which is kind of weird. But I just want to like
No.
ride the rides I want to ride, not have to consult with anyone, eat turkey legs. Yeah.
Yeah, eat turkey legs. Wait, you have to go solo to eat a turkey leg?
Jason does solo days. He has no problem going
Yeah,
solo in the park.
I love solo things.
Yeah, solos are great. The
That
last
was
time that I did a
most
solo,
of my life. Most of
Yeah.
my time going at Disney was solo.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, after when I was working there, it was solo. Because like,
Yeah. Are you still able to? Do you have connections to get in? Get
if
a
I
pass?
really wanted to, I probably know a couple people who work.
Yeah.
If I
You gotta
really
do it,
wanted
right?
to. Actually, I have one connection in Walt Disney World.
Mhm.
And Disneyland, I have a few who might.
Yeah.
But
It's hard. I talked to
harder.
even. I went to hello Alex.
Hi Alex, how's it going, buddy?
I went to a Comic-Con with all the Disney princesses, like Pocahontas,
Oh,
Ariel, Mulan, Belle, but I can Cinderella, all the big. Anyway, they can't even get into Disneyland for free. If anyone should be able to, it should be Cinderella. I mean, her castle's there, right? Anyway, so.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't feel
Unless
as bad,
there's a
but-
different Cinderella,
All right.
at the time.
Once I heard that they couldn't get in for free, I was like, okay, I'll stop complaining. But,
Let's see. We got Tyler Malin, huge fan of your
Moylan.
work, Mary.
Hi,
Moylan,
Tyler.
sorry.
yay.
Met you at House of Mouse Expo. You were a delight to meet. Do you remember Tyler at all?
Tyler, I gotta see his face.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. Look on the screen, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I love House of Mouse Expo. I love
So
all the
for-
Disney specific ones. They're fun.
For those who just joined, you got to take a look at the bottom. We do have an active trivia ticker going on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, Tyler,
We've already
got
had one trivia question, and then the current trivia question is, what city do the monsters live in? So you can feel free to drop a comment to put the answer in there. We'll let you know if you're right or wrong. If you have a question for Mary, you just want to say hi, that's totally fine. Please, we love audience interaction here. It's all about the joy and the magic. Okay, so
And spelling doesn't count.
Yeah, spelling does not count,
Oh, yeah,
and I don't
it's
care if you
definitely
It's a
cheat.
little misspelled.
Yeah, we don't care if you cheat because we're not gonna know. So, but we're gonna give like the latest question just a couple more minutes before we shout out the answer ourselves. I'm hoping that everybody knows, but we'll see. All right, so when did you start getting into conventions? Because I mean, you haven't been doing voice acting since then, right?
Yeah, I wasn't even. Yeah, my parents pulled me out of it. There was a couple auditions that were happening when I was younger, and we quickly realized that just wasn't how we wanted to. How I wanted to grow up. We walked
Alex's
in.
Alex's answer is Seattle, but sorry, buddy, Seattle is not correct. That is a great answer, though. I love it. I absolutely love it. You can keep guessing. I mean, I can't say no wrong answers because it's a wrong answer, but
yeah.
but that was
Sorry.
awesome. That was so awesome.
Okay,
Sorry,
it's me.
Monster
Okay.
Metropolis. He's close.
That's super close.
Tyler said Monster Metropolis. Close, but not
Oh.
quite.
Ooh,
You are like
grind 'em.
so there. So there. All right. So sorry, you were saying about the convention. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. So quickly realized didn't want to go grow up as a child actress essentially. Didn't even think about getting back into anything related to it. Had no idea Comic-Cons existed. And I was around 20, and I got an email from Celebworks, which is my management company, and got an email from them, and I read it, and they were like, you could do Comic-Cons and make money selling your autograph, and I was like, I thought, this is BS, like I thought it was a scam. But I ended up calling them, and they anyway, here I am now. So that was like around 7 years ago, and sometimes it's once a month, sometimes it's every weekend for 5 weekends in a row. Sometimes I don't have one for 3 months. It's pretty, it's kind of like it's pretty ebbs and flows a little bit with how much, but it's super fun. I get to travel around and like go to Florida and Kansas City, and I don't know.
You're everywhere.
Texas
recently. Yeah, a lot of stuff in the Bay Area too.
Yeah, Bay Area. There's a lot of them in the Bay Area, and just get to meet people. It's super fun.
Patricia says, I like the fan theory that Jack from The Incredibles is the scary human the monsters describe. The scary human. I'm wondering if she's talking about the one monster that goes in there and the rock music is playing, or something like that. I heard it was Sid.
I know.
I heard it was Sid
too.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I love Pixar theories though.
I think there's even like a picture of one of the scenes where the door is open and there's a poster on the wall that is similar or exactly the same as what poster is on Sid's wall in Toy Story.
Oh, cool.
Nice. And Alex, we're going to say Alex got this one right. He says Monsteropolis, but we said spelling doesn't count, so I'm just going to say that counts. It is Monstropolis. Monstropolis is the correct answer. So round of applause for Alex. He gets that one right.
OBJ.
Yep, and we will put up the next one. So the next question is, what is the motto or the tagline that's mentioned in the Monsters, Inc. commercial? Now, for those of you who don't remember, I'm going to give a little reminder. It's the commercial that Sully and Mike are both in, and it's like all the monsters going, I'm Monsters, Inc. And at the very end of that, there is a little phrase or a tagline. What is that tagline or phrase? So that's the question. So I'm going to let that run for a little while. That one's a little bit more difficult. Let's see. Alex. Yay, Alex. Yes, you did awesome. Let's see. Tyler says unstoppable. No. And scary good for you. That is not correct either. Oh, stroppable. Yeah, we said spelling doesn't count. Maybe stroppable for Monstropolis. I don't know. Yeah, right. Alex says we scare because we care. He got another one right. That is awesome, buddy. Fantastic. All right. Well, we're going through these quicker now. It's a good thing I wrote quite a few of them, huh? All right. Next question is, which character discovered that laughs were more powerful than screams? This one I feel is kind of a 50-50 shot, but we'll keep it up there for a little bit. Okay. So what have you been doing in the meantime before you started getting into the convention that you said you thought was a scam? I love that, by the way.
I had no idea. I was like, I can make what? Okay. Yeah, I'm like, I could get free travel. What are you talking about? Okay. But yeah, before that, still am, but I been in college, mostly different colleges, different programs, but mainly the focus has been like kinesiology. I was going for pre-med for a while. Integrative physiology was the specific name of the major, and then started teaching yoga during that time because I kind of felt like I was wasting my time just going to school, not gonna lie. And so I got my yoga certificate, started teaching yoga, and kind of through that route learned I liked massage, so I got into massage therapy and just officially got certified at that. And now I'm in school learning about acupuncture, and so I've kind of been like on this other route. And so Comic-Cons have always kind of been like a side focus. I'm always asked if I want to get back into acting, or that's a big question at Comic-Cons, and it's like, no, I have other things that I've focused on, but it's still a fun little I say I play famous on the weekends sometimes.
Well, you have been dabbling a little bit in acting lately.
I have, yeah. So that's another. So a thing was, I was like, growing up, I never wanted to be an actor. I said I would never go audition for a bunch of things. I just like in sixth grade, I cried in an audition in front of all the eighth graders for the school play. That was like the last audition I did. I used to love acting in musical theater. Anyway, point is, I also am not a person that says no a lot of if a cool opportunity comes, I'm not going to turn it down. And so when Andrew Nelson and Jerry and everyone approached me with before it wasn't Adventurous Ideas, it was just Heroes of Extinction.
It was part of Jerry's website, Theme Parkology, before Adventurous Ideas was created. Yeah,
there you go. And they were looking for characters, and they approached me, and I was like, I've never acted. I was 3, and then they had faith in me, which was cool. And so that's my project now. I would call it dipping my toes back into voice acting. But it's been fun. It's been
and doing a great job from what I've heard so far. I mean,
that's what they say. I'm like, it's weird hearing your voice. It's like listening to your own voicemail. I'm like,
it is.
Okay.
I will be the first one to agree with you 100% on that, because I listen back to a lot of the stuff that I do, and I'm like, oh, that sounds so horrible. Everybody's like, you did a great job. What are you talking about? I'm like, I don't hear it. I just don't hear
what's
it.
good though is I definitely felt, even when I'm listening back at the beginning, I felt I was pretty timid. Definitely, you could tell I was a little more nervous, and I definitely got more confident towards the end. But luckily that was good, because the character kind of needed that progression, so it kind of worked out for me.
A lot of weight on her shoulders in this story. Yeah. But and you've got a great director behind your back too. So Andrew Nelson. Yeah.
Yeah, without Andrew, he was he helped me get into the mindset of it was great. So
he's actually going to be our next guest, so he'll be on our next show in 2 weeks. Yeah,
he's great.
All right, Alex.
At the door, if you could hear her.
I did not hear anything.
Okay, cool.
It's okay. Yeah, we're good. We're good so far. Alex posted something, but it looks like it got deleted or something. And he just says Mike Kozlowski.
Hey,
it was not Mike.
Doesn't count.
I know it was not Mike Wazowski that actually discovered that laughs were more powerful than screams.
That's who I thought it was.
He was not the one that actually had the light bulb moment in that movie. Very close, but not quite. I'll give a chance for one more guess, Alex, if you want to do one more guess, and then we'll switch over to the next question. Now you're a little bit of a danger girl too. You got some adventure in you. I mean, I've seen you do fire twirling on a beach before.
It was fun.
So what's up with that?
Fire. That's another thing that just kind of happened, fell into. When I was really little, I loved to hula hoop. I had a hula hoop that count how many hula hoops, and I'd get into the thousands. I would just sit and watch TV and hula hoop forever. And in high school, I met this girl that she was an older girl that I looked up to, and she had this hula hoop that she would dance with. And I was just mesmerized by it. So I bought a hula hoop, and I spent hours on YouTube learning how to dance with this hula hoop. And I found out there's a group of people that are just as weird as me and would dance with hula hoops and other various objects. And they met on the beach once a week, and I started meeting with them. And the daytime we would do acro yoga, which is typically with 2 people doing different balancing postures, and 2-person yoga meets acrobatics, I guess. And at night, people would spin fire and with hula hoops. It was the first time that I tried it. That was a hula hoop that had these spokes coming out of it. So the first time I did it was in high school back then. And then I kind of took a break, kind of just did other things. It was always something I would kind of do on the side sporadically. But then when I moved to San Diego, I found a similar group of people that were doing that. And kind of got back into it, and got really into rope dart, which is what I like to spin. It's traditionally a martial arts weapon that has if you've seen Kill Bill, it's the girl's spiky ball.
Yes.
But mine's a ball of fire, essentially. So
okay.
cool. Yeah, so that's interesting. And through that, actually, and through my connection with Comic Cons, I was introduced to George the Giant, who was in Big Fish.
Oh, yes. Okay.
He's a sword swallower, and
Mhm.
he's like super tall. I forget how tall, 7 something.
Was Billy Crystal in that one too? Or am I thinking? No, it was a
Was
movie
he?
called My Giant, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a
I
song.
was just trying to think of the
It's a
degrees of
good movie though,
separation
Big
here.
Fish. But yeah, I got to perform with him at Knott's Berry Farm, and yeah, where's that? I forget the exact city. It's not Anaheim.
It's in Buena Park.
Oh,
I think
Buena
is the
Park.
or is it
Yeah.
is it Anaheim?
Buena Park. Yeah,
It's
so
right
I
next
I
to
think it's
Anaheim.
Buena
Yeah.
Park.
I got to perform with him doing the rope chart, but also he taught me how to walk on glass, and so I got to learn how to walk on glass and do some like little sideshow acts. So anyway, yeah, I don't know, it just like some random things that I just was like,
Why on earth would you want to do something like that?
I don't know. It was just something to knock off the list.
I'm serious. No, okay, I've never met anybody who has wanted to walk on glass. Now, I think my
I
aunt
never
at one
wanted
point.
to. That's the thing. Like
Well, but I mean, you still
like,
tried it.
I know that's true. I was
And
never
you
like and they're like, I want to do this.
You had to have a certain moment in your head that's just like, that sounds like fun. Let me try to do that. I mean, it's daring and it's something you've never done before.
Like,
I get it. It's new, but
I'm like, not everyone's done this.
okay.
Sounds like I should try it. I don't
I
know.
know. I can't. I like my feet. I don't want to hurt them at all. I mean,
know,
they
it's
do me
actually
good,
so-
you know.
Yeah, because he would lay on a bed of nails, and I would hit him with a cinder block. And anyway, but it's the same concept as a bed of nails as the broken glass. It's like if you put equal weight, the weight dispersion, some science thing.
So you're not only like a danger girl, but you're also like mean by like sledgehammering cinder blocks on people. Is that what you're trying to say?
I did get some joy out of that. Yeah, the cinder block on him, and I took a sledgehammer and just.
Yeah, I mean, you know, some people go to those like rec rooms where they get to smash stuff with a baseball bat.
I just smashed giants.
You've got your thing, you know. I mean, right.
Yeah, I gotta get back at all those monsters.
So Tyler got it right. He says it was Sully, the Sultan? Sully the Sultan. I don't know what the Sultan means.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, Sully is correct. He's the one that actually discovered that laughter is more powerful than scream. And he found out when I think when it was first realized in the apartment when Boo was like going crazy in their apartment.
Oh.
And Mike, I think, did some kind of funny stunt where he fell, knocked over his CD collection or DVD collection, and she started laughing like crazy, and it made the power surge, and the lights all exploded or something like that. So, but he didn't really fully realize it until I think Randall was chasing him near the finale of the movie. So, I may have seen the movie a few times.
I know, I'm like, crazy how many
Just
times I've
once
seen
or
it, and
twice.
I still I'm like, wait, what?
All right, so I've got a couple more questions. We're getting coming close to the end of the hour. We got about 15 more minutes, so we're going to breeze through a couple of these things here. The next two questions are kind of
what the name of that mountain range is.
Yeah. So do you guys know the name of the mountain range that what did I say? Where Mike and Sully were banished to? Lots of snow. That's a big hint.
I'm doing a Comic-Con with the Yeti.
You are with John Retzenberger.
Yeah.
Nice. Not just the Yeti. He's done like
a lot.
A voice for every Pixar movie,
guy,
I think.
Yeah, he is the guy that's done a voice for everything, right? In every Pixar movie.
Yeah, he's well, for those who are listening and know, he's the Chuck the bartender of, you know, the Pixar.
Yeah, exactly.
You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, so
I can tell you this mountain range.
It's a mountain range. It's not
who anybody who frequently saw the Paint the Night Parade and or worked the Paint the Night Parade, you will know this answer because you heard it about 100 times a night.
Really?
Oh, that's because the Yeti actually is the one that says it.
He does say it in the parade.
He says, "Welcome to the blank blank blank." I almost said,
I'm like, I don't know.
All right. It's welcome to the Himalayas. That's where the mountain range is. So yeah, the mountain range is the Himalayas. That's where
The Yeti lives in the
Yeti,
Himalayas.
right? The Yeti was banished there, and then eventually that's where Mike and Sully went as well when Waternoose discovered that they were onto his little scheme, or it was kind of his villainous reveal there. All right, and then the next question is kind of easy. What frozen treat did the Yeti offer to Mike and Sully? Anybody? I'm just going to say let's answer it here because we're getting close. No inappropriate answers, and wrong answers are fun, so let's hear those too.
I was a very sensitive child, and every time that I saw the scene when the Yeti would go snow cones, and his face was so sad as Mike and Sully just left and skated past, I would cry every single time. So,
that is correct, and Alex got it right too. Yep, they were snow cones. Now, okay. Bonus question: what flavor?
Come on, Alex.
I know.
Well, then say it.
No
Lemon
inappropriate
flavored.
answers.
This is a family show, but yeah, of course, the Mike and Sully both looked at him and were like, "Ugh," when they first saw the yellow snow cones. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. All right, next question. What was the name of the sushi restaurant that Mike took Celia to for her birthday? This one's a little tougher. Anybody remember?
But earlier, it was the one that I had no problem with for some reason.
No, I know. You knew this one pretty quickly, actually.
Oh,
I'm going to let you do it, but I think I know it. Took me a second. I had to backtrack.
Yeah. It took
I
me
have
Anybody
a Pixar, kept it since I was little. I have it's one of those bamboo sushi things. Those sushi trays with the Monsters Inc. logo imprinted on it.
Oh, yeah, I think you told me about
that's
that
so
once.
cute.
Yeah.
That, but I have no idea what the name of the sushi restaurant is.
Alex is our winner again.
Oh, he
It
does?
was Harryhausen's.
Oh,
Da-da-da-da. Yeah, he was.
Mhm.
Now, the cool thing about this is more
how it's
Monsters
spelled?
Inc. fun. It is spelled exactly like that. Yeah, I think it's Harryhausen's, like it's plural, in the possessive. Is that what you call it, with apostrophe s at the end? But anyway, yeah, that was the name, and it was actually named after, I think his name is Ray Harryhausen, who used to do all the stop motion animation for a lot of the older movies from the late 50s, early 60s, like Sinbad and Jason and the Argonauts and stuff like that. When you see the skeletons jumping up and fighting the sailors and stuff, that was his work. So
We're showing our age right now.
we are showing our age, but that's the stuff that I used to watch when I was a kid. I can't help it.
Right.
Yeah. All
I mean,
right.
it was old when we watched it.
It was. It was in black and white. Yeah. Some of them were black and white, but I think they even colorized some of those later on.
Mm-mm.
All right, next one. We've only got 3 more left, which is just enough time before we are going to be cutting off for the night here, I think. So, this is a line from the movie, and the answer is what follows after this line. And again, there are multiple correct answers for this, so either one will be accepted. Leaving the door open is the worst mistake that any employee could make because... Anybody? Let's give the chat a few moments, because we actually have a couple more people that look like they joined. See if anybody actually knows the answer to this one. Does anybody here, just by show of hands, know the answer to this one?
I'm trying to think. I know it.
Yeah?
I know it subconsciously. I gotta dig it out of my brain.
Oh, Kevin. Hey, Kevin. Welcome to the chat. You got one answer correct on that one.
Hi, Kevin.
You can let in a draft. That was the first answer after that line, so that is correct.
Wait, really? I gotta rewatch Monsters.
That's exactly what's said right after that line, but there is another answer that's right after that, which is the correct answer, so to speak, that Mr. Waternoose actually said. Any guesses?
Child.
Kevin got it again. You could let in a child.
Oh,
Yes.
yay.
Don't ever leave the door open. Big mistake. You get fired for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. 2 more to
Goodness.
go.
You
This
can
one's
let
fun.
him interact.
Yeah, that is because it's like students that were watching them, and they're like, just like kids in class, like I'm not sure of this answer. Is this the right one? All right, so what odorant, and I'm using air quotes for those who are not watching but listening, what odorant scent did Sully let Mike borrow in the locker room? This was happening right before Mike went on his date with Celia.
This is like one of my favorite scenes. I forget though.
And he was asking him, like, you got this scent, you got this one. He's like, nope. He's like, you got this one. He's like, yep, stink it up. And then he throws him the can and he sprays it under his arms. What guesses do we have out there?
You have some odorant.
Yes, odorant. So Alex said
Very
garbage. Garbage is a great answer. It's not the correct answer, but it is a good one. I think smelly garbage was one of them.
My
Smelly
favorite
garbage
of
was
the
one
ones that it isn't was low tide.
Low tide was another one, and then there was then there was the one more, which is the correct answer. So a couple more seconds for the correct answer on this before we shout it out. It's a good one too, and I think it was funny for the fact that he had so many different scents. I mean, most of us, we have deodorant, and there's one scent. We don't have like 3 or 4 different types.
Yeah, right.
And Kevin is showing off once again with the correct answer. It was wet dog. Yep. He's like, yep, stink it up.
For the win.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me, though. He looks like he's seen this movie probably about as many times as I have.
I would say if I had to choose between those scents, wet dog would be the one I would go with.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Because
smelly
garbage. Yeah, smelly garbage is horrible. And then what was the other one? Low tide
Low
or something?
tide.
Low tide.
Okay.
And if you live in the Bay Area like we do, you guys may have smelled low tide before, and
That's true.
It's nasty. It is nasty.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just put it this way. We're going to reference another Pixar movie. Where do all pipes lead? To the ocean, right? From Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
What kind of pipes do you think those are? Why do you think low tide smells so bad? All right. Final trivia question. What is the name of the fictitious play that Mike and Sully were practicing for? Now, this is not a real thing that they were practicing for.
I know the song from it.
Okay. She's out of our hands. That's not the name of it, though. That's not the name.
I didn't even know
We're looking for the actual name.
That thing backward. Isn't it that part?
Yeah. That's it. Keep going. Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. So help me, and cut.
Is that the name?
That is the name. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, they're rehearsing a play. Yeah. She's out of our hair. Okay, that was the last one that I had. I like that. That was fun. Let's get rid of the wet dog answer in there because it's already done. And yes, Kevin, I know, but we're getting close to the end here, and you've already answered enough right questions, trivia questions. So
good job, Kevin.
Good on you, buddy. You did good. You and Alex were like the kings of the trivia. You guys killed it.
Right.
That was awesome. You're
Kept it
awesome.
going.
That's right. Okay, so gonna start wrapping things up. Mary, did you want to say anything else before we ended this here? Like, do you get anything coming up you want to tell everybody about, your fans? Any events that you have that are coming up that you're gonna be at? You want to promote?
This weekend I will be in Sacramento, and the following weekend is in Lompoc. I don't know. There's a couple coming up. The best way is I said my Instagram earlier, but again, it's Visual Boo, VISUAL Boo, BOO. I post about all of my stuff, and then Celebworks. That's my management, which they're tagged in my little bio on Instagram. There you can find out more about my events, and then they manage a bunch of other really cool actors, so you can find out about their Comic-Cons as well. And yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Okay.
Follow me on there, but yeah, if you're in Sacramento, that's where I'll be this weekend. But yeah, I'll be posting about the location, so I don't know exactly where it is off the top of my head.
And And I have to
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
and Heroes, of
reiterate
course.
this. Well, yeah, of here, of course, yeah. But I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
yeah.
like, we were talking about your voice acting that you're doing recently, which
Yeah.
is for a show called Heroes of Extinction, which is going to be premiering on the Adventurous Ideas website. That's adventurousideas.com
I have one
later
more
this
episode
year.
to record. I'm
Yep,
excited.
we're almost there. We are
Yeah, I've been
almost
super
there.
excited.
So
Definitely. What?
That's so exciting.
Oh, it's so exciting. Yeah, in the first episode.
From an outside perspective.
Yeah, the first episode, I don't think it's a fully edited version. I think it's more like a sneak preview, but the first episode is on YouTube. So I've been telling people about that at my cons. But yeah, definitely go see that or watch that. I say see it because it is an audio show, but as you're listening to it, the production value is so high, like with the sound effects that are happening and everything. It feels like you're watching a movie. But
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
we've had a lot of positive feedback from that first episode.
Yeah, it's so good. So that you could definitely watch that or listen.
All right, we have one final request before I wrap things up here, and Alex is asking if you can do a Boo impersonation. I don't know if you can still do it or not, but he is asking, so I figured, we'll
this
put it up
is
there.
Boo after puberty. All right.
Boo after puberty. Love that.
Mike Wazowski.
There you go, Alex. All right. I think that deserves a round of applause, everybody. Thank you so much, Mary, for entertaining us, for your wonderful stories, and for just being a super, super cool person of being on the show. Yeah.
Now I can pull out the facts of, Monsters, Inc., the 4th Pixar movie.
Yeah.
That's my favorite fact. So
we're full of information on this
show. Thank you.
Lisa, Mimi, any final thoughts, comments before we send
It has been a joy getting to know more about you.
Yes, and thank you for joining us on our
Janessa.
podcast.
Yep.
Kevin says, I'm excited for the adventures of Janessa, a.k.a. Heroes of Extinction. Kevin's on our team as well, everybody, so that's how he's got that inside info. And Patricia says, great show. Nice learning more about you, Mary. Hope you all have a great night. Thanks, Patricia. You too. Hope you have a good night. Thanks for always being here, because I think she's made every single show so far, and I really appreciate the fandom here. That's awesome.
Free shirt.
She's like our #1 fan.
Other free shirts. And
all
speaking
right,
of shirts.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
And speaking of shirts.
Hopefully next month the t-shirt shop will be available. I have a friend that I'm going to work with to try to get the Etsy shop. I started working on it this past weekend, but I kind of hit a little bit of a stumbling block and I need a little assistance. So we'll be there, and I'm hoping in May our t-shirts will be available for sale for everybody.
Very exciting.
Yes. Okay, so next week's episode, make sure you guys all tune in. It is going to be on Tuesday, May the 7th, right after
one of my
May the 4th be with
people.
you. Yes, right after May the 4th, and right after Revenge of the 6th. And what is the one they do for the 7th? It's
I haven't even heard the 6th one.
No, I think it's
Revenge
May
of the
4th.
Revenge of the 6th? Return of the 6th? No.
I thought it was
Return of the 5th? Revenge. I think it's Revenge of the 5th. And then there's something
Revenge
for
of the
the
5th.
6th. I don't know if there's one for the 7th. But anyway, C. Andrew Nelson, the man, the myth, the legend, the Dark Lord himself, Mr. Darth Vader. He actually played Darth Vader for all the special edition versions of the Star Wars movies. So just the special editions. I mean, if you guys are thinking about the other Darth Vader, that was David Prowse, who unfortunately is no longer with us.
He did wear the costume in 2 of the movies.
He did wear the costume for 12 years for LucasArts, and he has done movies, TV appearances, award shows, commercials, and he was also a visual effects artist for LucasArts and for ILM. So yeah, he's a man of many hats, and of course, the co-founder of Adventurous Ideas, and he is also a writer, a director, a narrator, a voice actor, tons of stuff. And he'll tell you all about that on our next episode. So make sure that you guys come back on May 7th, 6 o'clock p.m. Don't miss it. So that's it.
Don't miss it.
Thanks again, Mary. Lisa, baby, thank you. Mimi, thanks again for joining us.
Always.
And for all the latest news and information on the upcoming episodes, just like what we talked about here, we'll have some information about Andrew and his upcoming show, and of course links to that show. Please make sure to find us on Main Gate Magic on either Instagram or on Facebook. I've also been posting videos to TikTok, so please keep an eye on the future videos for that. I'm getting tired. My words are stumbling. And love the show today. It was a fantastic
Yes,
vibe.
it
I
was
had
a
a
lot
great
of fun.
time.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. You guys
Cool.
all have a great night.
Thanks everyone
And
for
thanks
answering.
again, Mary.
Absolutely
Yep.
wonderful.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Cool.
All right.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Hello.